Hello, welcome to our tutorial about machine learning and deep learning. My name is Masoom and today I'm going to talk about what machine learning and deep learning is, and we're going to create a Chatterbot. For those people who don't know what a Chatterbot is, it's an artificial intelligence program that lets you chat with it. So let's get going. The first thing we're gonna need is Python. It's the most reliable language we're gonna use, and so let's go to Google and search Python. Go to this link. This is the official web page of Python. Go to downloads. So there are two versions of Python available. One is 3.65 and other is 2.7.14. The difference between these two versions is not much. For more simplification, we can say that Python 3.6 is a bit more for advanced people, and Python 2.7 is a bit simple. The most of the thing is the same, and it's like 90% is the same. A bit of syntax difference is there. For our tutorial, we are going to download Python 2.7. You can download to 3.6. It's gonna work, no problem, but I'm going to show you how to do it in 2.7. So click here. It's 18.3 megabyte software, so it's gonna take a couple of seconds to download. Meanwhile, we'll have to download one more thing, and that is this thing. The link will be given in the description below. You can download it from there. It's a corpus, a Chatterbot corpus. We're gonna download it from GitHub. We can use that because we're not making it a complex tutorial. Eventually I'm going to show you how to make each and every file of here, but for now we're just gonna copy it because we want to see how our Chatterbot works. So you can just click here, download zip, and hopefully it will start downloading. The Python download gets stuck here for a couple of seconds. Don't worry about it, it's gonna eventually get fixed. And you can go to downloads and see. Yes, it's downloaded. So the first thing we're gonna need to do is install Python. So let's just click here, done, next, and don't touch anything here. Just don't do anything because we're gonna use this file location in our program when we write it. So next, yes, next, okay, yes, okay. And while it installs, the corpus file showing folder of the, let's put all our file in desktop. You see, I have already downloaded it once, so it's giving me one more, so you don't have to worry about it. So extract here, yes to all. So here's our folder, Chatterbot corpus master. So just keep it there, we're gonna use that. Meanwhile, the Python is done installing. So we need to check whether the Python installed correctly. So go to here and assume it's command prompt. You have to use that. Python. Now for very rare cases, for very few people, this will work. For most of the people, this command won't work. Now here it worked, and the reason is I have previously modified it so that it would work, but if it doesn't work, there's a way to fix that, and the way to fix that I'm going to show you how to fix that. You need to go to, say, this PC, right click here, go to properties. Now here you have to click advanced system settings, then environment variables. Here you need to find where the path is. Here you need to click edit. Now when you click edit, you need to input two new paths. So click new, C, Python, okay, and into click one more, now why the second line and the first line? I'm going to explain it to you. The first line here first. When you type Python in command prompt, the reason it doesn't connect because it searches where Python is and it can't find it because the path isn't there. That's why you input that. The second line, the script line, is because you need to write in the program how to download the scripting file that I'm going to explain to you in a bit. So click OK. And one more thing, here the Python and the script, this here, the P and the S, these are capital letter. You have to, and there's no dot here. It's not 2.7, it's 27. So okay, good, fine. Okay. So now we can write our program. We can start writing our program, but before that, I'm going to show you something. This Chatterbot file that we just downloaded, this zip file, what it contains is, you can think of it like a skeleton and data that's gonna train our bot, train our application how to chat and what to respond in our what we say and how to respond to that. The Chatterbot corpus, data. You see, there are many languages there. We're going to use English, and this here, what is this? I'm going to explain it to you in a bit later. Just keep in mind that it's there, and these are the data that we're going to use to train our bot. Okay, so it's there. So now we are ready to write our Python program. So right click, new text document, fine. Okay, so we are ready to write from Chatterbot just write with me, and I'm going to explain you the code a bit later. In fact, I can just explain it to you here. I mean, this tutorial is for the people who has a bit more knowledge about Python. It's not a beginner Python tutorial, because there are tons and thousands of videos about Python programming, so you can just go to YouTube and learn it from there. So this tutorial is for the people who has a bit more knowledge about what is this from Chatterbot import, how to install module, how to speak function, that's things like that. So this import operating system, so you know this. Support files in operating system list directory. Now this is a for loop. For those people who know C language, this is a Python for loop. So now here we need to put a directory. Which one? We need to put this one, this Chatterbot corpus data English that we just had. This we need to copy this link. This just click left click here to come, just copy it and yes, so paste it. Okay, it's easy. Now here you need to do 3 changes. Now mind it, these are critical changes. You need to do that. You need to take this slash and make it in a forward slash, and this in a forward slash, and this into a forward slash. Why? Because it's Python programming, and if you don't do this, there will be syntax error. Okay, so okay, good. Now a very important thing, indentation. Python programming works much more reliably because of the syntax, and it's different from C language we use. It's easier. In C, after a line we use semicolon to say that the line is over, but in Python we don't do that. So in order to say how much line of code in a loop is, we have to use indentation. This gap here, right here, this gap, it's called indentation. It's the first indentation. Second, now this is very critical in Python programming, because if you don't do this correctly, your code won't run correctly, and eventually you're gonna end up with a bunch of unnecessary programming error. So okay, you can just copy it from here. I mean, exactly, because you don't have to understand this. You can just copy it and play with it. Eventually you're gonna learn, so don't worry about that. So we are going to use the same link that we used. This here we also have to make the changes that we made in this first line. English. Now these files, this plus files is for the, so that it includes all the other necessary files to train our chatbot. We have to read them. Those who know programming a bit, that are familiar with this. Read line, not read lines, because we have read multiple lines. Okay, good. So okay, box.train we're gonna use this data to here to train our bot here. Okay. While true, you can also use while one, no problem. It's don't forget the semicolon right here. It's a common mistake, people forget that. So message is now here's a point. Here's a very critical point that I'm going to talk about, the difference between Python two versions. If you use input, it's correct, it's not false, it's correct. If you use input, it's correct in Python version 3.4. it's correct in Python. But if you use 2.7, which we are using, you cannot use input because it's not gonna take the input correctly. You have to use raw input. This is an upgrade they made when they updated the Python version to 2.7 to 3.4 and so on. So you have to use raw input here. You cannot use input, because if you use input in 3.5, 4.5, that's correct. But in 2.7 you have to use raw input. Okay, good. So if then again the indentation, you have to be careful that you have to indent. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. The code won't run correctly. You have to do this. So if not equal to C language by Chatbot. Reply. Okay. No, it's a good idea to save once in a while, because if the electricity goes out in that our country mostly does, so the spacing is there because it makes the code looks much more easy on the eyes. Okay. I forgot the same colon there. Let's just do a bit more space right there. Okay, so our code is done. So let's explain the code. Okay. So this here is a module, a Chatterbot module that we haven't yet downloaded or installed. We will install it right now. So is a Chatterbot from module. We import that. We import operating system functions and for loop. We use that for it's a while loop. We take the input and reply. We make the bot reply. If we input by, so the program just ends. Otherwise, it will continue running. And this is an important line. It's bot train. We train our program with this data. So let's save it. we have saved this already, but we need to do this save as in our desktop. Say our chatbot. Okay, so our chatbot dot py Python extension, we need to use that. Okay, so save, we can go to our desktop and see that, see there's the logo, it's Python logo. So our chatbot is correctly here. So now we need to install our module. Okay, so go to cmd, say pip install Chatterbot. Now what is pip? Pip is Python installs package. It's the short form of that. Python installs package. It installs Chatterbot, a module or a set of code, if you like, if you want to think it like that. So now see, the pip is not recognized as an internal or external command, so it's a problem. Many of you will face it, that why isn't it running and why. The reason is that I'm going to show you how to solve something if this comes like this. So if you face problems like this when you're working or something like that, just go to Google and just take this entire line, just take it and paste it. See, there are all sorts of things, and it is there. This is Stack Overflow, and not many people can extract the solution from Stack Overflow. So no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna show you how to solve this problem using that. So again, I think I did it once already. Why is it not working? Yes, I made a mistake. The mistake was here. It should have been scripts, not script. See that S, it created the problem. Now, yes, good. It's a good lesson. So one more thing. Even if you now do this and say pip install Chatterbot, it won't work. Why? Because you just modified that while you open the command prompt. So you have to close it, reopen it. After you modified that, anything there, the path, you have to reopen the command prompt. Then you can, hopefully this will work. Yes, it does, it works. So even after you modify that, you have to close that, you have to close that, you have to close this command prompt, and then you can restart and this correctly. And this they already I already installed it, so it's already installed, but yours is gonna come as it is. Okay, good. So it's good, it's good. We can hopefully run our chatbot now. Let's see. So open command prompt again. Now if you try to say Python and what is our chatbot.py, it ain't gonna run because it's not in this directory. You have to change the directory. You have to change the directory cd desktop. Now if you learn Python our chatbot, hopefully it will work. Okay, yeah, so it's working. Our bot is being trained right now. We're training our bot. So what are we actually doing? Because I started the video saying that I'm going to talk about what machine learning is, what deep learning is. I haven't talked about that. It will take a while to train our chatbot, but while it does that, I'm going to talk about what machine learning is. And machine learning, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm going to very oversimplify it, what machine learning and deep learning is, because it's not a new topic. It was around in 1960s, 1950s. It started back then, but very recently we didn't have the computational power, the processing power that our computer have in our generation right now. Let me check if the video is still rolling. Yes, good. We didn't have the computational power we had back then, so we have that now. So we can use machine learning to into a computer or large scale PC, IBM, there's supercomputer. So what machine learning basically does, it's a program that takes input, a lot of input, a lot of questions with answers. It analyzes it. Say for example, if we want to create a program using machine learning to detect an input picture, and it can say that whether the picture the animal in the picture is a dog or a cat. It can differentiate between a dog and a cat. If we want to make a program like that, we'll write a simple code in Python, and then this is what basically we do. We will show it a picture of cat, and not one picture. We're gonna show it, say 10,000 picture of cat. 10,000 different angle, different shape, size, color, everything. 10,000 cat picture. We're gonna show it and say that this is a cat. This is a cat. 10,000. And then we're gonna show 10,000 picture of dog. Different angle, different size, different shape, different breed, and say that this is a dog. 10,000. It's gonna take the input of 20,000 pictures. 10,000 cat, 10,000 dog. The program knows this 10,000 is cat and this 10,000 is dog. And then at the 20,000th one input, the next picture, we're gonna give it and say, tell me, is it a dog or a cat? And it can do that. It will do that. Not 100% accuracy. Yes, there are some limitations in machine learning and deep learning because it's not accurate, but it will be 99.95% accurate, something like that. And the idea came from our brain cells. Our brain cell, this is a unit. The main two part is what this tall part, action, and this what we can say tree-like part is dendrite. The one this is a action, so this action connects with another cell's dendrites. This is how our brain is formed. Our whole cell. And this is the idea we use in machine learning. Now, what is this? The picture. This is the picture that actually describes what machine learning is. This is an input layer. There are, we can say 6 input point. Say this like the cat and dog program. Say we want to implement this in a cat and dog program. There are 6 input points. This color, shape, tail size, how long is the tail, sitting eye, face cut, everything. There are 6 input. It analyzes that. There's some hidden layer. In this picture there is one hidden layer. There can be 2, 3, 1,000. We don't know. The more advanced artificial program like Siri, Cortana, these are Chatterbot. There are more artificial responsive program. There are many more hidden layers here there. And in our program there will be one output. In here we can see there are 4 output. For our chatbot program, we can say there are many input. There are at least there are this 4, 5, 20 type inputs here, but there will be one output or one reply system. And the hidden layer, how does that work? And this is how I'm going to explain it to you, how our chatbot is gonna work. It is working. Remember that how I said that this English, these are different language. This English, yes. What are these? These are analytical, or you can say, for your simplification, think of it as like movie subtitles. These are conversations about movies, about money, about literature, about humor, about history. These are conversations written. We dump all this data into our program. Here we just train them, and we just dump them. It analyzed those data. It analyzed those conversations, and it learned what to say in response to what. Our program is done trained, so we can just check. So let's go. Hello. It takes some time. It takes some time to analyze. It says, "Do you know who I am?" It takes okay. It responds as, "I am Masum." Let's see. What are you? Okay, so it is asking me what am I? I say I am a human. I am a human. Okay. Who is your mother? It's asking me about my mother. It's asking me who my mother is. I am not gonna tell him that. I am not gonna tell you that. Okay. You're a robot. Now it's assuming that I'm a robot. I say, no, I'm not a robot. I am. What am I jealous of? No, it's asking me out different questions. Now I can say, okay, bye. I can just end the conversation here. And it just ended. The conversation ended. Now what is this? You can see the response is not fast as artificial programs, and the response is not quite good. I'm gonna say it's not quite good because the data is it's just a couple of what, that's 20 what, there are 18 list. There are around 1.7 or 8 billion conversations or movie subtitles conversations in online. You can dump all that on this program. it's gonna be much more interactive, much more fast, much more accurate. It will be much more lively to talk and chat. So this is what basically a Chatterbot and what machine learning, deep learning is, and how does it work. In our upcoming tutorials, I'm going to show you how to make a advanced, a much more complex Chatterbot like Siri, which we can connect it to a speaker, and it can talk. You can talk in the speaker, and it's gonna listen to you, it's gonna respond and do all kind of stuff for you. So signing off, thank you.